So today is Throwback Thursday, and on today's episode, we're going to take a walk down memory lane and remember the trip I took with my brother Randy to watch the San Francisco 49’ers play the Phoenix Cardinals. This trip was in part due to we were celebrating our 15th anniversary and him giving me one of his kidneys, and so I took him down to Phoenix to watch his favorite team, the 49’ers. This trip was taken 3 years ago in October of 2021. We left Portland on October 9th, and the game was played on October 10th, which October 10th is the exact day of our anniversary of him giving me one of his kidneys. So it was too perfect to have his team play on the 10th on that exact day. I just had to do it. And these mountain views of Mount Hood on our way when we left were just absolutely gorgeous. And here's a picture of us on the plane. And then we land into the barren desert land of Phoenix, Arizona, a far cry from the pretty mountainous Portland. We ended up staying at the Comfort Suites Hotel in Glendale, Arizona. I originally had an Airbnb book, but we were forced to cancel that. It's a very, very long story, but I think this hotel wasn't too bad.
It's a nice hotel.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep, taking a video, Philly, to show them. The bathroom looks like. Now approaching State Farm Stadium for the Arizona Cardinals. I would think I was calling them Phoenix Cardinals earlier. Old habits die hard. They should just be thankful I'm not calling them the St. Louis Cardinals. We had pretty good seats here. We were in row 12 behind the 49’ers, so we could actually see the faces of the 49’ers on the sidelines. And of course, they're always sponsored by a beer team somehow. It would have been more opportunistic for my brother if the San Francisco 49’ers were playing the Phoenix Cardinals in San Francisco at their own stadium. But it just worked out this way that on the day of our transplant anniversary, the 49’ers were playing the Cardinals in the Cardinals stadium. This was my first time at an NFL football game, and let me tell you, the vibe there is wild. So much more so than a baseball game. I have been to several Major League Baseball games, but this was my first NFL game, and wow, the sound, the loudness, the energy, it's just amazingly hyper upbeat. But even though this was my first NFL game, don't be fooled. I am a football fan. I remember telling my dad when I was little I wanted to be the first girl who played in the NFL. And of course, he kind of kiboshed that, and I ended up not being a healthy enough person to do it anyways. But that little girl on Remember the Titans? Yeah, that little girl was me. Very competitive, very much into football, knew all the rules. Same with baseball, but I love football and I've always wanted to go to an NFL game. So I was just as excited as my brother, even though the 49ers are not my team. My team is actually the Dallas Cowboys since I was a little kid when I was 5. But of course, I'm rooting for the Niners here because of my brother, and it's his favorite team. When someone gives you a kidney, you kind of root for their team.
San Francisco to the city.
Into the end zone for a touchdown.
The Phoenix Cardinals wide receiver caught the ball towards the end of the game, and that pretty much sealed the deal for the Phoenix Cardinals. The Cardinals won the game, and my brother was severely disappointed. So here we are saying goodbye to the stadium. We walked over to this very pretty plaza where there were several people from the game headed, and there was a lot of bars and taverns in this area. There were a lot of restaurants too, but most of the restaurants were unfortunately closed. Only the bars were open. We had gone into a bar that we thought would be good, but the line was so long. We ended up deciding to leave and go to a different bar that had this axe game in hopes that some of the other bars would clear out where we could actually get some food, but they never did clear out. So we ended up going to Olive Garden in a different area. We ended up walking like 3 miles, I think. I didn't play this axe game with my brother because 2 months prior to our trip, I had injured my back and had an annual tear, and I didn't want to re-injure it again because it took me like 3 weeks to heal from it. So I didn't want to make all of these throwing, kind of bending over motions. But it was fun watching him play. So the next day we went and visited my friend who lives in Phoenix now. She did live up in Portland, but now she lives in Phoenix. We sang together in the Oregon Spirit Chorus for the 75th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. And we got to sing on the USS Missouri together. And then she moved down to Phoenix shortly after. So it was fun visiting her. She took us shopping in the touristy souvenir type shops around town there in Phoenix. And we had a good time together. And then she took us back to the airport. I hope someday soon I can come visit her again. And thus ends our trip down in Phoenix. And we head off and fly back home to Portland. Thanks for watching, and until next time, feed the pollinators for me.